Welcome to this special Halloween episode of Death Kiss Traveler. Today I am bringing you a story unlike I've ever told before. It's not about ride accidents, hauntings, or the familiar thrills you might expect. Tonight, we venture into something darker, a tale that will creep under your skin and give you chills long after it's over. My name is Marissa, your morbidly curious host. This podcast dives deep into the history, horror, and hauntings of your favorite places. Follow me on TikTok or Instagram at Death Kiss Traveler Podcast. I will post videos and photos, plus keep you updated on current ride accidents. Hit that subscribe button, and if you are enjoying this podcast, please give me a 5-star review wherever you are listening. And it's my favorite day of the year. Happy Halloween. Now let's dive into this creepy legend. Long before the circus ever rolled into the borderlands, there were stories. For thousands of years, people have whispered of creatures that fed on the living. In the deserts of Mesopotamia, they spoke of demons that drank blood of infants. The Hebrews told of night spirits that preyed on the weak. The Greeks and the Romans feared the restless dead, the ones who rose by moonlight, hungry for the warmth of human life. These ancient terrors were only the beginning. The vampire we know today, pale, watchful, thirsting, was born centuries later in the mist-covered valleys of Central Europe. In the early 1700s, when superstition and sickness walked hand in hand, villagers began to speak of the dead, refusing to stay buried. They said some were murders, others were suicides, and some had simply been touched by evil. But all shared the same fate, rising from their graves at night to drink the blood of the living. Fear spread faster than the plague. Families exhumed their dead, driving stakes through their hearts that no longer beat. Fires burned through the night as villagers tried to purge the curse from their soil. For a time, the borderlands became a stage of hysteria, a place where faith, fear, and folklore blurred together. And death no longer promised rest. The 19th century Europe was a time of upheaval, poverty, and uncertainty. Records were scarce, towns were small, and children often wandered the streets or worked long hours in factories, fields, or markets. In this era, many children simply disappeared. Some lost to accidents, others to disease, and still more to darker circumstances. In cities like Paris, dozens of children vanished over the years, sparking fear and speculation. The villagers whispered of strangers or gangs, or even supernatural forces. In rural Spain and Italy, studies suggest that a significant number of girls never reached adulthood, their lives cut short by neglect, malnutrition, or worse, leaving communities to puzzle the missing children. In some cases, entire towns were haunted by the absence of their children, their laughter replaced by rumors and ghost stories. Tales of abductions, secretive strangers, and unexplained vanishings circulated from village to village, shaping the folklore and feeding the fears of generations. These disappearances tell us that even in times before modern crime reports and police reports, the loss of a child left a scar on the community, a fear as real and as palpable as any legend of monsters or curses. Traveling circuses and performance troupes were nothing new in the 19th century. They moved from village to village, bringing wonder and excitement. Acrobats, exotic animals, and dazzling feats that captivated townsfolk. But not all troupes were welcomed. In some villages, fear preceded their arrival. Stories spread of performers disappearing at night, livestock found hollowed, and children vanishing during the show. A traveling troupe in Poland in the 1850s, for instance, was rumored to have strange, pale performers who only appeared after dusk, leaving a trail of missing children and frightening towns in their wake. In rural France and Germany, towns whispered of shadow circuses, whose acts seemed impossible and whose performers had a gaze that made even adults shiver. These historical accounts of mistrust, vanishings, and eerie performances form the skeleton of the Vampire Circus legend. They were kernels of truth upon which horror grew. A traveling troupe could inspire awe and leave a village haunted forever. So the legend merges fact with fiction, and the legend of the Vampire Circus was born. A traveling nightmare that moved under the cover of night, its wagons rolling like shadows across fog-laden hills. These were no ordinary performers. They were creatures of the dark, nocturnal beings who were hungry for blood and knew no bounds. Villagers whispered in trembling voices of pale figures with unnaturally sharp smiles, of mirrors that reflected not faces, but something far older and hungrier. Mothers locked their doors and prayed for dawn, but the circus ignored their prayers, slipping through the towns like a phantom, leaving only behind fear, loss, and the lingering metallic scent of blood. The high number of missing children became more than statistics. It became a warning etched in the memory of every town they touched. Some say the circus still travels unseen, waiting for foggy nights, for unsuspecting towns, for the next innocent to vanish into darkness, feeding the legend that it'll never, ever be caught. It was the autumn of 1888, when the fog rolled thick across the borderlands between Bohemia and Transylvania, a place where villages clung to the hills like secrets that refused to die. The nights came early that year, and the air smelled of wood smoke and rain. Most travelers avoided these roads after dark, but one evening, just as the church bells tolled 6, a procession appeared in the mist. Painted wagons, striped tents, horses with bells on their reins. A banner fluttered above them reading, Cirque Nocturne. The villagers, weary from harvest and hungry for distraction, gathered at the crossroads to watch the circus arrive. At first it seemed harmless. A small troupe of performers from somewhere beyond the Carpathians. They promised wonder, contortionist, beasts, a hall of mirrors where no reflection tells the same truth twice. No one knew where the circus had come from. Some said it was from the Black Sea, others from the Carpathian forests. The performers spoke in languages the villagers couldn't place, a blend of Slavic, French, and something else that made the air grow cold when they said it. They set up their camp on the outskirts of town, circling their wagons and raising a tent striped of red and white. For 2 nights, the circus performed under the pale lanterns of its red and white big top. The laughter echoed down the hills, but after the second night, laughter was replaced by whispers. On that first night, the townspeople gathered beneath the striped tent, its fabric damp with mist. Inside, the smell of wax and iron filled the air. The lights shimmered strangely, brighter in some places, dull in others, as if the lanterns themselves were alive. The ringmaster appeared without warning. Tall, thin, his face powdered white, lips crimson as blood. His coat shimmered with gold thread, and his eyes caught the light in a way no human should. "Welcome," he said, his voice smooth as silk, "to the circus of eternal wonder." The audience laughed and clapped, charmed and uneasy all at once. They watched as acrobats twisted through the air, their bodies moving like smoke. The fire eaters exhaled blue flames that refused to die. And when the mirror dancers stepped into the ring, a pair of identical women draped in silver veils, their reflection in the tall glass panels behind them didn't quite move in sync. The audience oohed and awed, and by the end of the night, the circus had charmed the villagers. Just as the first gray light of dawn crept over the hills, a farmer trudged across the mist-shrouded fields. His boots sank into the wet earth and a chill ran down his spine. Ahead, something lay in the tall grass. A cow, motionless, unnervingly still. As he stepped closer, a ting of iron hung in the air, sharp and metallic. Blood. But there were no wounds, none at all. The farmer's stomach turned as he knelt beside the animal. Its flanks were hollowed, its skin pulled tight against its ribs, as if some unseen force had drawn every drop of life. He stumbled back, heart hammering, and looked toward the tree line. And for the briefest instant, he thought he saw a shadow, tall and thin, vanishing among the mist. By the time the village woke, the story had spread. The cow, whose blood had disappeared. It was the talk of the town. What creature or force could drain the blood of such a large animal? And the circus performed once again that night, and the cow was forgotten in the laughter of the performance, the circus captivating the audience as if under a trance. And the next morning, dawn crept slowly over the village. Smoke rose from the baker's oven. Roosters crowed and doors creaked open as families began their morning routines. But something was wrong. In the miller's yard, the baker's wife noted little shoes, small, worn, and abandoned near the well. Panic spread like wildfire. People poured into the streets, shouting the child's name, "Annika!" The miller's voice cracked as he ran from the house, desperate, fear clawing at his chest. No one had seen her since the night before, when the circus had arrived in the swirl of lanterns and music. The big top, the performers, the laughter, it was all gone now. Vanished, as if the earth had swallowed them whole. Villagers searched every field, every barn, every shadowed corner of the fog-drenched woods. But there was no sign. No footprints, no cry, nothing except the whisper of wind through the trees. Fear gripped the village. The whisper spread of dark forces, curses, and reverence. And in the hearts of every parent, one thought rang clearer than any bell. Whatever came with that circus had taken the child. But what proof did they have? And on to the next town the circus went, leaving no trace behind. Lanterns glimmered like fireflies. A tent rose like a red and white fortress against the evening sky. And music floated through the streets, enchanting every soul who heard it. The townspeople, unaware of what had happened in the days before, gathered in awe. Children pressed close to their parents, eager for a glimpse of the acrobats and the clowns. No one noticed the strange shadows moving in the corners. The performers' pale skin gleaming unnaturally, or the way the mirror panels at the big top reflected more than just themselves. As laughter and applause filled the air, the circus worked its spell again, mesmerizing the crowd, hiding in the darkness that followed its wake. Somewhere among them, a child would vanish next, and the legend of the Vampire Circus would grow even stronger, and more children would disappear. In every town the circus touched, whispers began of strange markings, symbols etched into the walls, scratched into doors or painted faintly on barn doors with a substance that glimmered like dried blood. No one knew their meaning, yet everyone felt the unease they carried. Some symbols resembled spirals or interlocking circles, as if drawn by a hand that knew secrets older than the village itself. Others were more sinister, angular shapes that seemed to twist when you weren't looking directly at them, or inverted triangles that villagers swore glowed under the moonlight. Farmers would wake to see their fences carved with these signs. Children's toys would be arranged in impossible patterns, or the mirrors in their homes reflecting shapes that didn't belong. The symbols always appeared near where the circus had pitched its tent, or where the first disappearances occurred. Scholars and priests tried to decipher them, but each attempt only deepened the mystery. Some say they were wards, meant to summon or protect, while others whispered the truth. The symbols were a signature of the Vampire Circus itself, a mark that the dark troupe had been there, and that the curse had followed. The circus continued its journey across the valleys and toward the borderlands. Wherever it went, lights flickered in the evening fog. Laughter echoed through the streets, and children's cries were silenced before anyone could react. The villagers tried to follow the wagons, to confront the performers, to uncover the secrets hidden beneath the striped tents. But the circus was always gone by morning, leaving nothing but empty fields, hollowed animals, and the faint lingering scent of iron in the air. Authorities investigated, priests blessed the roads, hunters scoured the forests. Yet the circus never left a trace. No matter how desperate anyone searched, each town the circus touched whispered the same warning: watch the night, listen to the music, and never, ever follow the lights. And so the Circus of Night became a ghost story, told in trembling voices. Some say it still travels the remote roads of Eastern Europe, appearing in the fog-drenched villages, only to vanish again, taking with it the unwary, the curious, the children. Even now, over a century later, the story of the Circus of the Night lingers in the villages of Eastern Europe. Old-timers speak of it in hushed tones, a shadow that moves through the mist, a melody that drifts across the hills. Some claim they've seen lanterns bobbing in the distance, or heard the faint echo of circus music where no circus should be. Historians debate whether the circus ever truly existed, or if it was a story born from grief and superstition. But every foggy road, every abandoned field, every strange carnival tune that drifts through the village at night serves as a reminder. The Circus of the Night may have never been caught, but the legend lives on, and those who believe, or don't, would do well to remember. The circus doesn't travel openly. It watches, it waits, and when the music plays, it's already too late. Thank you for listening to Death Kiss Traveler. This podcast is truly a dream come true for me, and every day it's growing and being listened to all around the world. Thank you so much to my listeners. I hope you have a safe and spooky Halloween. This podcast is written by me, Marissa, produced by Sunkissed Traveler. Are you thinking of taking a vacation? Universal Studios, a Caribbean cruise, or how about a weekend at a ski resort? No matter where you want to travel, Sunkissed Traveler can take the stress out of planning a vacation, plus find you the best deals. Link in show notes or visit sun-kisstraveler.com. I'll see you next week.